آلاء ربكما تكذبان۔
اے گروہوں، جنوں اور انسانوں کو، اگر تمہیں قدرت ہو کہ نکل جاؤ تم کناروں سے آسمان اور زمین کے تو نکل جاؤ، نہیں نکل سکتے تم سوائے زور کے، تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
يرسل عليكما شواظ من نار ونحاس فلا تنتصران۔
چھوڑ دیے جائیں گے تم پر شعلے آگ کے اور دھواں، تو پھر نہ کر سکو گے تم ان کا مقابلہ۔
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان۔
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
فإذا انشقت السماء فكانت وردة كالدهان۔
پھر جب پھٹ جائے گا آسمان تو ہو جائے گا وہ گلابی تیل کی تلچھیٹ کی طرح۔
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان۔
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
فيومئذ لا يسأل عن ذنبه إنس ولا جان۔
تو اس روز نہ پوچھا جائے گا اس کے گناہوں کے بارے میں کسی انسان سے اور نہ کسی جن سے۔
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان۔
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
يعرف المجرمون بسيماهم فيؤخذ بالنواصي والأقدام۔
پہچانے جائیں گے مجرم اپنے چہروں سے، پھر پکڑے جائیں گے پیشانی کے بالوں اور پاؤں سے۔
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان۔
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
هذه جهنم التي يكذب بها المجرمون۔
یہی ہے وہ جہنم جھٹلایا کرتے تھے جسے مجرم لوگ۔
يطوفون بينها وبين حميم آن۔
گھومتے پھریں گے وہ درمیان میں اس دوزک کے اور کھولتے ہوئے گرم پانی کے۔
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان۔
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
ولمن خاف مقام ربه جنتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان۔
اور جو ڈرا کھڑے ہونے سے اپنے رب کے سامنے، اس کے لیے دو جنتیں ہیں، تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
ذواتا افنان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان۔
بہت سی شاخوں والے درخت، تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
فيهما عينان تجريان۔
ان میں دو چشمے بہہ رہے ہوں گے۔
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان۔
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
فيهما من كل فاكهة زوجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان۔
ان میں ہر طرح کے پھل دو قسم کے ہوں گے، تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
متكئين على فرش بطائنها من استبرق وجنى الجنتين دان۔
تکیہ لگائے ہوئے ہوں گے ایسے بچھونوں پر جن کے استر ریشم کے ہیں، اور پھل دونوں باغوں کے نزدیک جھک رہے ہوں گے۔
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان۔
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
فيهن قاصرات الطرف لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان۔
ہوں گی ان میں شرمیلی نگاہوں والیاں، نہ چھوا ہوگا جن کو کسی انسان نے ان سے پہلے اور نہ کسی جن نے۔
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
كأنهن الياقوت والمرجان
گویا وہ ہیں یاقوت اور مرجان.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان
نہیں ہے جزا عمدہ نیکی کی مگر یہ بدلہ ہے اعلیٰ درجے کا.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
ومن دونهما جنتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان
اور ان دونوں کے علاوہ دو جنتیں اور ہیں تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
مدهامتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان
دونوں گہری سبز رنگ کی شاداب تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
فيهما عينان نضاختان
ان دونوں میں ہیں دو چشمے ابلتے ہوئے.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
فيهما فاكهة ونخل ورمان
ان دونوں میں ہیں پھل اور کھجوریں اور انار.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
فيهن خيرات حسان
ان میں ہوں گی نیک سیرت خوبصورت عورتیں.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
حور مقصورات في الخيام
وہ حوریں جو محفوظ ہیں خیموں میں.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان
نہ چھوا ہوگا جن کو کسی انسان نے ان سے پہلے اور نہ کسی جن نے.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
متكئين على رفرف خضر وعبقري حسان
تکیے لگائے بیٹھے ہوں گے مسندوں پر سبز رنگ کے اور خوبصورت نفیس.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان
تو کون سی نعمت کو اپنے رب کی تم جھٹلاؤ گے؟
تبارك اسم ربك ذي الجلال والإكرام
بابرکت ہے نام تیرے رب کا جو صاحب عظمت ہے اور احسان کرنے والا ہے.
The Greenwich Global Program gives students an opportunity to study in over 5 continents with universities like the University of Bangor, the University of Hertfordshire, the University of Leeds in the UK, with universities such as the University of Murdoch in Australia and the University of Sigmund Freud in Austria, just to name a few of our partner universities. The 2+2 program gives students the access to study at Greenwich University for the first 2 years and then move on to any of our partner universities around the world and carry on with global careers anywhere around the world.
Hello, my name is Kareem Teli and I am Director Igloo, working under the patronage of Pakistan Dairy Products. The journey at Greenwich was absolutely amazing for me because I learned a lot. It gave me and taught me a lot of lessons, gave me a lot of hardships, heartaches, joys, celebrations and special moments, due to which I am here at my destination today. Well, over the last couple of years, our company has grown into a more versatile business, and as I am managing the food division of the group, we have introduced different brands, different product lines besides ice cream as well. Besides the frozen division, which is called Igloo, we now have a different division called by the name of Homemade. We introduced different kind of frozen parathas, puris, chapatis, which is instant, ready to cook within 2 minutes. This is a good achievement for us because we weren't doing that at all. We were just focusing on ice cream initially, and then we just transformed ourselves into a frozen food company as well. Besides that, in the last couple of years we introduced our own chocolate brand by the name of the Chocolate Factory. I believe we're going to be introducing that product line into the market as well for the normal consumers. So we currently supplying to all the industries and businesses which produce different kind of desserts, cakes, pastries, and we produce chocolate chips and cooking and baking slabs. Well, there has been multiple things. It's not just one thing that makes a person who you are today. I believe there are many factors involved, including my education. I did my bachelor's from Greenwich University, and then I went for my master's abroad to Boston University. Did a different kind of degree there, innovation in technology, computer information systems, which made me learn a lot throughout my educational time. And then when I came back to Pakistan, I implemented those strategies here in my business where I worked, and that created a huge moment for me. Obviously, to be here, I mean, education is not the only thing. You have to give time to your family, to your loved ones, spend quality time with them, maybe to relax your mind, watch good quality content, videos, movies. So I mean, your life should be balanced. If your life isn't balanced and you're just doing one thing and you're focusing only on that particular thing, there is going to be a time that you're going to divert yourself, or you're going to get tired of that particular thing. So I mean, one should have the passion to do the job which he or she likes, and once they have that passion, they can do anything in this world. I mean, there are people who are going to say that you can't do this or you can't do that. But I mean, if you have the passion and the courage to do something, then you just have to be positive and just work after it, and you're going to reach your destination soon. Well, the need of the time is follow your passion, follow your heart. I mean, you cannot do something which somebody else tells you to do. I've met a lot of students, I've had a lot of interviews with different people, and they usually say that I'm doing this particular degree or particular program just because my parents told me to do so, or my elder brother or sister told me to do so. This isn't going to help you a lot in your future, because if you are doing a marketing degree and your interest is media science, I mean, you're going to get the degree obviously, but it's not going to help you in the future because you're not going to pursue your career in that particular field. Or maybe even if you do, then you might not be good at it, or you're always going to be addicted or diverted to the things which you like. So I mean, follow where your heart leads you to and focus on that, work positively on that things, and I believe with over a period of time you're going to feel a change in yourself, and once that change arrives, your life is going to change forever. Well, for me, Greenwich is a one big happy family, and all those people who are a part of Greenwich should also feel the same. There are a lot of things to do at Greenwich. I spent most of my time at Greenwich when I was having my classes, and I used to have the gap between the classes as well. So I usually used to stay back at the university and used to play sports, maybe play badminton, cricket with friends, sit and enjoy in the cafeteria with friends. This is also needed in life, because I mean, if you just study, then your mind is just going to get blocked at one point of time, and then you cannot take in more information and data. So to do these things, I mean,
I mean, everybody knows who Deepak Parwani is.
Hi, my name is Ali Afandi. I am an alumni of Greenwich, and I work for an American firm by the name of Veruzzi. Greenwich is a great place to come and study.
One of the key takeaways from this particular program is the idea of blending theoretical insights with practical exposure through consultations, webinars, seminars, role plays, and simulations. So it really gives you a real-time exposure of the global geopolitical landscape. One of the key examples that I could feature from my academic tenure was our privilege to not just visit the European Parliament in Brussels, but we also had the opportunity of addressing members of the European Parliament on re-imaging Pakistan. So in effect, Greenwich University is your launchpad to move you beyond horizons as far as your career growth is concerned. So roll in, and I'll see you on the other side.
My name is Akib Sayed. I am currently the Group GM Marketing for Multinet Pakistan Limited. I am a very proud alumnus of Greenwich University. Greenwich was a great experience in overall shaping my personality in the corporate world, and I thank you everyone at Greenwich and the current students and wish them a lot of success. Thank you so much.
My name is Asfan Nizami. I'm working in Express Publications as Group Executive Director, Marketing and Sales. I'm a proud Greenwich alumni. When I came to Greenwich, I actually flunked my entrance test. I started with a foundation, so I did a foundation. और today आज मैं जो भी कुछ भी हूँ वो Greenwich की वजह से हूँ. Greenwich ने मुझे बहुत कुछ सिखाया. और जो चीज़ मुझे एक टीचर ने कहा था कि इंसान और जानवर में फ़र्क ये होता है कि इंसान टाइम लाइन और डेडलाइन मीट करता है. तो वो क्वालिटी इस तरह मेरे अंदर आई कि आज मैं अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह किसी भी चीज़ की टाइम लाइन और डेडलाइन मीट करने में मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती. थैंक यू ग्रीनिच फॉर दैट, फॉर श्योर.
Farooq Mughal, and I'm an assistant professor in strategy and organization at the School of Management, University of Bath, UK. But the best part is that I have an MBA from Greenwich University. I'm an alumni, a proud alumni. I also completed my BS in Information and Technology from Greenwich University. So an undergrad and an MBA just established myself, and I've had the very firm foundation to go off and pursue my dreams in the UK. I think it's an interesting journey because when I first started thinking about my career, it was as a youth in Pakistan like any other youth, and I had millions of dreams to pursue. The best thing was that I had a lot of guidance, and I was lucky to have that guidance from my parents, from my brother, who were scholars and academics in their own fields. And I started thinking about what I should be doing with my life. During my matriculation and my college days, I wanted to be a medical doctor, and I had a lot of dreams to be a doctor and to help a lot of people, but that just didn't materialize the way I wanted it to be. And I was then pulled off in different directions. There was an IT boom in Pakistan. It was late 90s, early 2000s. I then jumped into the field of IT. I heard that Greenwich University in Islamabad campus was offering undergrad programs in information technology, and I thought, well, here's an opportunity to do something with my life. I spent about 3 years doing my undergrad at Greenwich. It was the best time of my life. But during those 3 years, I think that there was a major shift in the industry of Pakistan. And when that shift happened, the IT bubble burst. And it became apparent that there will be a lot of struggle in this field. And the best way was to switch from IT to management, because management as a profession has always been growing. It's been there for thousands of years, and we're still studying it. And I was absolutely fascinated by it. Why are we still studying management when there are organizations all around us? If you look at pyramids of Egypt, we look at the Great Wall of China, they are amazing projects. Thousands of people have accomplished them. They were workers, they were managers, they were project managers. And those projects were completed on time. But I had this question, why study management? Why study organizations? The only thing that came into my mind is that it's not because the future of work is changing. It's not because if the world of work is changing. It's because more and more organizations are failing today. And I thought, here's an opportunity to get into a good business school, and Greenwich University was my first choice. And I started my MBA. I specialized in human resource management. I got a gold medal. I got a 4.0 GPA at Greenwich University. And I think that just set the right foundations. After that, a couple of years, I spent at another business school in Islamabad. I started teaching as an academic. After that, I got another opportunity to pursue foreign education at Lancaster University. And I think when I went to Lancaster, it was the right opportunity because it helped me understand that I need to ask the right questions to be in this field. When I started asking these right questions, it just opened a new horizon, a new way of looking at things. It was completely different to what I've experienced in life. That set the foundation. Then I did a very strong research project in human resource management. It was around organizational learning and development in particular. That just laid the foundation for my PhD, a doctorate in management learning and leadership. And after that, I just started pursuing my dreams in this field. I think it's an excellent question because it's very difficult to be an organizational sociologist. My main area of research within this field is I study power, or the interoperability of power in organizations. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically what that means is when I go into organizations, I look into how complex and messy these spaces are. And when I say complex and messy spaces, organizations are not neat and clean spaces which are reflected in organizational hierarchies and organograms. Somebody's at the top, 2 people are at the bottom, then you've got 4 people underneath them. Organizations don't work like a pyramid anymore. Organizations are far diverse, they're far complex. And when I go into organizations, my job is to study how are these relationships established? How do people accomplish work? And how do they accomplish work when there are very, very implicit and strong power relations? They can be anywhere. They can be here with us right now, between you and me, between your colleagues, or between my colleagues and my boss. And how do these dynamics affect the way we work as individuals and organizations? So when I go into organizations and I say, hey, I'm here to study power and politics, people run like cockroaches because nobody wants to talk about power. We embody power. We like to take it for granted because it is so sensitive that we don't want to talk about it. I always tell my students at the School of Management when I'm teaching courses like organizational studies, and when we talk about power, I say power is like Lord Voldemort, the antagonist from Harry Potter, he who must not be named. We know it's there, but we don't want to talk about it. So it is very difficult to be the person researching and studying power in organizations, or be the sociologist who comes and talks to you about your social relationships. It is quite a complex field, but I enjoy immensely doing that. Again, I think that's an excellent question because the future of Pakistan is bright. And when I say it's bright, I think it's bright because we have a truly unique culture. And culture is the basis for our diversification. But there is a problem here with our industry. There are global trends which are westernizing ourselves, and then there are local trends which we are completely forgetting day by day. George Ritzer in 2003, in his book called The McDonaldization of Society, talks about that we were stuck in a trance. We're not truly global. We're not truly local. We're glocal. And when we are glocal, it means we've embodied certain westernized thoughts in our daily lives. For example, in Pakistan, we talk in Urdu. But when we talk in Urdu, we're not actually talking in Urdu. How many words in our daily life do we use from the English language? And we use it unconsciously. It's because we aren't global, we aren't local. We can say we can dress Western, we can dress global. But then again, we've got these local values which are pushing us back. Do managers, do leaders in organizations realize that? That's a bigger question. We want things to be done in an international way. We want our international standards to be set right. But we aren't doing that completely. We are stuck in this trance. And for managers to understand that here's an opportunity to understand and make use of our local values and use them to actually make a name for ourselves. And those values are immensely important. And they are in every organizational dimension. They affect us in how we work. They affect us in how we lead. They affect us in how we manage. So we can say management has a number of different functions, but those functions are not our functions. They've been given to us. Do we give a second thought in how to transform them and making them Pakistani functions of management? Or do we think about what are the local functions of management? So here's a thought for managers to think about. What is our local culture? Are we proud of it? Do we celebrate our local culture? That's a bigger question. That's for them to answer. I've done many projects, and I think there are two projects at the moment which are really important. One is we're working with placement students from different business schools in the UK. We're looking into their journey from transitioning as students to becoming employees or workers in organization. Here's an important gap because there's not a lot of research or studies that are being undertaken when students leave the safety of their business schools and jump into the practicalities of real organizational life. How does that transition take place? What are the challenges those students face? Either when we're talking in business schools, and this is across the world, we look at students as students. When they graduate, we look at them as employees or employers or entrepreneurs. We don't know what happens in between. I think there's an important opportunity for us to understand how can we transform that informal learning that is happening during this gap period, and how can we formalize this and identify the challenges these students are facing when they are trying to transition as students into organizations. Our solution is that for the society in the UK, and this is not just limited to the UK, and Pakistan can embrace this as well. There needs to be a tripartite relationship between students, the business schools, and the employers to understand the identity formation of these students and this identity shift from a student to an employee. How does that transition take place? And if we unlock this transition, which we are calling the liminal identity, which means the space in between. If we figure out what's happening in the space in between, we can better prepare our graduates to take up important positions in organizations, to reduce the reality shock they face when they go into workplaces. It's not safe anymore. Like I said, organizations are complex, workplaces are complex. Are we preparing our students to embrace that complexity? Because world is not going to get any easier. Workplaces are not going to get any easier. It's competitive, it's intense. And are we actually preparing our students for that? And this is what we're doing in the UK. So we've got different business schools as partners on this program, and we're looking into these transitions. It is my belief that when we are transitioning, we're more open to learning, and we can gauge that learning. If we are not that transition can be from student to employer, from one job position to another job position, from a lower level position in a hierarchy to an upper level position. When we are transitioning, we are open to learning, even if we know it or not, if you recognize it or not. That is the point when business schools and employers must understand to really develop their programs and to really develop these individuals to embrace these complexities. My main inspiration is my father. He's been a brilliant academic. He's served his life in Pakistan to establish the education sector. I've seen him as a child, his principles, his discipline, and I can only wish that I can 1%, if there's an opportunity to embrace 1% of his principles, of his philosophy, of his ideology, I would think that would be a great success. And I don't think that I'm anywhere near where he was when he was at my age. But he's been a major role model, and I've seen him throughout my life, and I've always tried to enact what he's done. So he's basically been the main motivation, the main source for me. Believe it or not, there have been many challenges from day one. I remember the day I left my life in Pakistan, when I started pursuing a different career path. I think there were many hurdles, and I think the only thing that helped me get over these hurdles was the determination, the sheer motivation that I really had to prove myself. I really had to do something with my life, and to have such a great role model like my father, I think it was one motivation that I had to at least do something and to make him proud. And along the way, I was ill. I was hospitalized during my PhD. I lost a lot of faith in doing it and completing it, and I thought that I would never be able to get over the line. And there was this dream of making them happy, my family, my parents, to make them happy, and I think it really helped me push me over the line. I think you need to ask my wife about that, but I think it's really difficult in this day and age where everything is so digital. We're living in a digital world, and when you're working as a Pakistani, as a non-Western in a Western society, you have an additional layer of identity work that you're trying to do. You're always trying to prove yourself. You're always trying to prove others that you're capable enough to walk alongside them, their visions, their ideologies, their philosophies. That is just too much pressure. What I normally do is I try to prioritize, I try to sequence my work events, I do everything, but there is an overlap, and I'm guilty of that. I bring work at home. I work at very odd times in the middle of the night, and I think that is one thing that I really need to work on to make that clear distinction where work ends and where personal life starts. But it's a continuing struggle. I think there are a lot of professional goals that I would like to achieve, but the one goal that I really want to achieve would be to be a really good son, to be a really good father, to be a really good husband, to be a really good sibling. I think that's my main goal. Other goals come and go, but this will stay consistent forever. I don't have any particular golden rule that I do follow. The only thing that I really that I do follow is to have some kind of discipline in life. If you have that discipline in life, it really helps us to achieve a lot. And the one thing that discipline really does is that it gives me motivation to be coherent, to be in sync with my goals. And when you walk, and when anyone walks, you can look at their feet and you can see how they're treading. If they have a purpose in life, their tread will be very different when they're taking that step. And that step could be, I want to see my family be happy. I want to pursue a really big goal in life. But I think that discipline is really important. That gives you purpose, that gives you motivation. I've had the most amazing time at Greenwich. I've had the most brilliant friends, fantastic teachers, fantastic colleagues during my Greenwich time. I think there are several moments that come to mind, but the most important, I think, was the time spent with friends. And that time spent with friends, I can give anything to go back in time, to enjoy that, to experience that, not knowing what was in the future, not caring about what's tomorrow going to be like. It was just pure enjoyment with friendship. And this is my message to everyone as well. Enjoy your life as a student. Enjoy your life. This is the time. But you've got responsibility. Don't forget that. Enjoyment comes at a cost. You can enjoy, but enjoy within limits.